everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to show you my collection of BH palettes since they are no longer. It's so sad because it's one of my favorites and I have most BH palettes in my collection. So it saddens me a lot that they are no longer, but I'm glad I have the palettes that I have, and I hope I can find more before there are no longer any more palettes. I'm still like searching for some that I still want in my collection. So yeah, I have a whole stack of palettes right here that is just BH, and yeah, I have quite a few. So on top was one of my favorites at the beginning of collecting BH, excuse me, I got an itch, was the Illusion palette. This was like $12 and you get 16 shadows. These shadows work amazing. Even though these two are like so similar, this palette for $12, you just couldn't beat the price point. It's so pigmented and I do love this palette so much. I have like quite a few dips in here, which is nice. And they're like creamy. Some mattes are chalky, but they perform really good. Very pigmented for, I know they have small pans, but that's what I love about BH because of their small pans as well as their pigmentation. They work so well. I do love BH formula so much that, you know, this is one of my favorites that I go to. And it's like, I can travel with this and have no problem making a look out of this one. I just love this one so much. So I highly recommend the Illusion palette. Next, I only wore this once, looking like a snack. One of their newer ones. This has pretty, but I wanted one with, it had green and purple into it, but this was like the next best palette that I wanted to try. So I finally got to try it and I really did like the look. It's more like a monochromatic palette for me, but it performed really well. I do like the formula in this one. Look at how pigmented, like BH is one of the best. So it's kind of sad that Makeup Revolution kind of bought it out. But look at that pigmentation. That silver is everything. The pinks are really pretty. Very pigmented. Very smooth. All the shades were smooth in this palette. I really did like it. I don't know why not enough people liked BH. Like, it was my favorite. When I started YouTube, it was my favorite. And one of, like, one of my palettes that I first bought, you know. Zodiac Aquarius, I still yet to play with this because it's like all cool toned and dark. I'm just like, I'm scared of this palette. I don't want to touch it yet. I'll wait till winter on like maybe a rainy day or something. I don't gravitate to wear this palette. But yeah. Next is the Georgia Cat Mega palette from BH. Super cute packaging. I really like it. Reminds me of, what's her name? Poison Ivy. Kind of reminds me of a DC character. But again, this has so many beautiful colors. Like endless. I know it has like a lot of pastels. Like this purple pastel, but the pigmentation is really good. They are really nice. Look at that. This is really nice. It was kind of expensive, like $36. You're not gonna see like these really well, maybe. I don't know, but look at that shimmer. That orange is pretty too, so that shimmer, man, that's really pretty. I need to dig more into that palette. Because at first I was like, eh, but that shimmer is like, yeah, you still need to play with this palette. But I don't think I'll get rid of any other BH palettes just because they're no longer, and just no, I can't. This one right here, the first edition, was one of my first BH palettes that I bought from Ross, and I fell so much in love with this palette that it started to be my favorite, and I wanted more from BH. So this is what it looks like. There's one palette. And it's so rare to find these. Like, I know Mercari, a person selling one of them, but I just like the colorful ones. The other ones are too neutral, so I got 1 and 2. These remind me of baked shadows, but I just think they're just rounded. They're not even baked. So I do like this color. I think the formula is going down a little bit, but I still love it. I still love it. It's so pretty. So I really like it. It's pigmented to my liking. BH is just everything for me. So I'm like literally super sad. I need to play with all my BHs because this year I haven't really played with my BHs for some reason. I'm just like, even with Glamlite, I don't know what, I have so many formulas, and then I'm bringing in more formulas. This is the second edition. So I'm like not really focused into my other palettes. And again, there's 2 palettes in here. Here's one. Very beautiful. Very. I got this one like $12, and then the other one from Ross was $15. So I had to buy this on eBay. I had to make sure like it was brand new, it wasn't been touched, and I really like it. Just got to make sure you don't get like an open palette like somebody used. But for me, like, I had to get this. Those are really pretty. I know I need to clean my hand off more. But I really do like the pigmentation BH gives. There's different formulas in like each palette they made. So that was kind of disappointing that, you know, because there was palettes I gave to my mom that their formula was a little off that I did not like. So, yeah, I just did not like it. So, but most of the BH I did like. This is the Zodiac, just the first Zodiac palette. Big and bulky, but the formula is really amazing. These are baked shadows. BH has some really good big shadows. Really pretty. And I'm so like surprised and happy that I found the Zodiacs for like $8, $9 at Marshall's, because these are $30 and it's a steal to find them at Marshall's. Then I love these 16 pans, the Trendy in Tokyo. The 16 pans, I wish they would have just kept on going with these ones. Kept on going with these 9 pans. 16 pans are really good. Even though this one was like one of the last ones they made, that is really good pigmentation on those. I need to play with this one more. I think I've only played with this one once. Did I even show you the color story? So yeah, the pigmentation is really beautiful. Highly recommend this. If you find this one at Marshall's, you should get it. Even if you're scared of color, I think it's worth the try since it's really cheap at Marshall's. That purple one. I need better swatch of that one, but you can see that reddish orange color. Oh, that's so beautiful. So beautiful. Next is Lost in Los Angeles. Los Angeles. I don't know. Some things I can't say right. If I say it right, it just sounds funny to me. Like I'm saying it wrong. So this is what it looks like. If you are looking for a good pastel palette, everybody duped this from the Natasha Denona palette, and I think it was like spot on. It doesn't look like it, but when people were swatching it, it was so beautiful. It's a must. There's like, I need to dig more because most of these shadows have not been touched before. I like this red tone. This like silvery blue. What else have been touched? I like to play around with ones that have been touched, so when I reach for this again, I can see what I haven't touched. So these 3 are gorgeous. So beautiful. So I just don't know why they went bankrupt, like literally how. And this is like most of everybody's favorite is the avocado toast. I want the blueberry muffin. Oh, and I want that face palette. The, what's that country? Belgium waffle. Just love green, so I had to get this one. So pretty. Even though it's not like really monochromatic, it has a few different colors. I just love it. It's one of the best ones. So literally, if you can find this palette, it's a must. Even if you don't like greens, just get it. It's a must. Like, look at that. That could be an eye look right there. So pretty. When I look at palettes to get, I always think of, oh, I could do this eye look. I could do this eye look. so easy. Like, I pick out colors from like a new palette, and then, oh, this reminds me of a palette that I already have. So it's easy for me to have eye looks. Like, look at my eye look right now. Like, how could this go with this, you know? Just play around with color. You'll think of ways to have a gorgeous look. Summer in Saint Tropez. I always say Tropez because of the Z, but I guess the Z is like silent. I don't know why. Just don't put it there. Put an A. But that's what it looks like. It is so gorgeous. My favorite one is the Sizzle. It has like sparkle inside of the palette, of the pan. Like, every time I swatch any of the BH, like, I love the pigmentation. That is so pretty. I like all three of those. Isn't that pretty? Ugh. So this is like a collection video of all my BHs. I always like start off with BH and like look at my palettes, and I'm like, why haven't I played with you yet? This is like these two were like the last ones that I purchased from Marshalls, the Mimosa palette. Like, I'm slowly hearing people rave about this palette. So I was like, oh, this is such a gorgeous palette. I don't have pink palette, you know, the monochromatic pink palettes. And I'm like, I should totally get it. So I'm glad I got 2 pink palettes out of the last purchase. Even though this one's like more like out of its world of Color Story. This is more like a subtle pink tone. My favorite is Pop in this one. That like shimmery pink. This yellow. And what have I played with? This like orangey color. OJ. But my goodness, even like just being on my fingertips is just beautiful. I love it. That pink is everything in this palette so far. I only wore it twice. Once or twice. I just need to play with it more. I just washed this and it's already, I got this at Dollar Tree. I really like it. Now it's like $1.25 when you get anything. But things are still worth getting from the Dollar Tree. My Dollar Tree is starting to be a Five Below and Dollar Tree. $1.25. And then I got this Drop Dead Gorgeous Full On Crazy palette. I don't think this was like the most popular when this came out. This I got from Ross. And at first I really liked it. Like, I wanted this. But now I have it and I'm like, what do I do with it? But I love this red. That is very pretty. I love silvers. I had to get it for a silver, but the silver is like okay. And then this purple. I really like this is really pretty. So it's a very unique color story for sure. Oh my, that purple went on really good. Look at that. If you can find these palettes, you know, you won't be disappointed. You won't. Oh, that red stained a lot. Look at that. Okay, I don't think this was popular either. The Take Me Back to Ibiza palette. Oh my gosh, this is such gorgeous. I don't know why I don't dig into this. Like this side, I've seen a lot of palettes this year that came out with like a lot of these tones. And I'm so like that Bloom palette from Clarity or something. I'm like, I still want it, even though I try to dupe it and I have extra colors. I'm just like, and this reminds me of one of the side, reminds me of one of these kind of palettes, like this side. Yeah, I think so. My favorite is this like pinky purple. That's really pretty. I love a good teal turquoise color. And I love their oranges from BH. It's just one of the best. I love the reds from BH. Like pinks, blues, like all these colors are so pretty. So these are really good. I wanted this palette so bad. These were $20, ain't bad at all. And then you get that $3.50. And I'm like, once you get a good deal, like these should be high end, I feel. BH should be high end. I seen this at Kohl's when I was starting to wear like pretty makeup. The Royal Affair. And I know leans to the neutral side of things, but I cried over this palette because I wanted it. I wanted it so bad. Like, John had to order this for me for like one of the Valentine's Day because I literally wanted this. And this has such a great formula in this palette. Like, even though it's neutral, I gotta get the silver. Like, my favorites are the silver. It's called High Tea. Crown is this like green color. Then I really love in this palette is Princess, Lady. Like, I love so many colors in here. Like this color, all of the greens, and then the burgundy pinks. These colors, like this palette is really good. Some things are wiping away, but it's like right here. That pink. But look at that green. That is everything to me. Like, seriously, why haven't I dug into these more? I really want to dig into this Aurora Lights palette. It's all baked shadows. Most colorful baked shadows, you know, BH has. I was looking at the other ones, and this is the one that I really wanted. I need to stop swatching the silvers, but the pinks in here look so similar, these two, but they're so pretty. I need to play with this palette more. I keep, like today I wanted to wear this, but then I had my phone pick it out, and I'm so glad like it picked out like a BH palette today. And I got to play with the baked formula, even though it wasn't this one. But you can just create so many good looks. They do so many colorful palettes, as you can see. This is Take Me Back to Brazil Rio edition. And I love the texture and just everything about these palettes. The pink, the orange, greens, they're just so good. And they're all colorful, pigmented, works really good. Look at that. This is an all shimmer palette. I just don't know. This was one of my first ones too. So I'm not sure. I think the first edition, and then this was my second one. I just had to get it. This is the regular Take Me Back to Brazil. And it's just a rainbow palette. Just love it. This has some shimmers in it. Like, I really like this shimmer green. I gravitated to this blue a lot. This red. Red's a little chunky, but it still performs really well. So it has some shimmers and some like mattes. This is like a metallic kind of this green. I've been swatching this green a lot in this palette this year. I was like, oh, I need to dig into it. And I swatched this color and I'm like, yeah. Why haven't I? Like, look at that rainbow. Love it. Gotta get out your rainbow palettes this month. Try to do as much colorful looks, but this is like more like a two-tone and then a bunch of blues and purples, like dark colors down here. This is my Daisy palette. This was like a really limited edition. I seen this and I was like, you know what? I need to get it. I love these like berries and mint tone and summer spring vibes going in here. Even though you can go like berry tones and then yeah, I don't know why my camera keeps like going in and out of the color. Like now it's like dark. Anyways, I love this maroon shade. I love this red again, this green. I always dig in this green whenever I go in here. And this mint shade. That mint shade. Oh, look at that. This palette is really good. This was like super limited edition. Once I got this, I never seen it again. So I was like, look at, bam. And I need to clean my hand off. But the pigmentation and this person, I don't know who that is. Do you know who that is? Daisy, like Marquise or something. I had a friend, her name was Marquise, and that looks like her name. So it seems like I'm saying it wrong. But I swear that's how she spelled her name. But look at that. So pretty. Even though it looks like the randomest palette, I like it a lot. Look at this. Looks like I have a tan going on. Like a random weird tan. And this is the palette I'm wearing today. Is the Zodiac Love Signs. So glad my phone picked this up because I was like, this is probably like the second time I wore this palette, but I dug into the colors that I haven't dug into. And I'm really, really enjoying my color look today. So I really like it. I'm trying to do a wing. This one's like more subtle wing. This is more like up. It happens. It happens. Okay, the colors that I'm wearing, I'm going to swatch a little bit. Let's see, one more. Like, these are what I'm wearing. So beautiful. So that is all of my palettes. I did not count any. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 pallets. I think the last time was like 15. Now I have 20. And then 2 upstairs that I gave to my mom. So I would have had 22, but I have 20. And I'm hoping to find the pallets that I want to find at Marshall's. But yeah, 20 pallets of BH. Love BH. It's one of my favorites. You know how pigmented the shadows are if they are stained really good. And it's my first love of going into this makeup world and this community. It's just, this is one of my favorites. So that's why I'm so sad about BH. But, you know, things happen. But yeah, thank you for watching my BH collection palettes. I just love it. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment to my channel. Bye for now.